Hello, and welcome to today's story. Now, have you ever had someone that you don't really like or you don't get on with? Who's kind of like your nemesis, your enemy, but you've been told or you've been brought up to treat that person nice, regardless of how they treat you? That's today's story. Today's story is called A Mouse Called Julian, or Julian to be fancy, and it's by Joe Todd Stanton. Shall we read it? Let's find out what happens. A mouse called Julian. Julian had lived on his own for as long as he could remember, and that was the way he liked it. All the animals above ground tried to eat him, and all the animals below ground got in his way. So he made sure to avoid everyone. He knew how to dodge the rabbits, the moles, and the badgers. He knew where to hide from the farmer and her dog. He knew which branch to leap across to escape the hungry barn owl and get home safe. But Julian didn't know that he was being watched. That night, Fox crept up to Julian's house and, using all of his skill and cunning, smashed right through Julian's front window. The fox bared his teeth, but he couldn't quite reach Julian. The fox was well and truly stuck. "Pardon me, but would you be so kind as to help me out?" asked the fox. "Help you?" yelped Julian. You just tried to eat me." "Of course I didn't. I was simply popping in to see if you were okay," lied the fox. "I'm not okay at all. Your big head is in my house," said Julian. "Well, if you help me, I promise you will never see me or my big head again," pleaded the fox. Julian didn't want a fox in his house, so he went to help. He pulled the fox's tail, pushed his nose, and wiggled his ears, but the fox would not budge. When it got to dinner time, Julian couldn't bear to watch the fox's sad, hungry eyes. So he shared what he ate, and they talked and ate long into the night. The fox realized it was much nicer to eat dinner with Julian than to eat Julian for dinner. And Julian realized that having a guest wasn't so terrible. The next day, Julian tried a new plan, and with a bit of effort, the fox popped free. "Thank you," said the fox as he disappeared into the woods. Then Julian was back to being on his own again, just the way he liked it. He dodged the rabbits, the moles, and the badgers. He hid from the farmer and his dog, but he missed the branch to escape the barn owl. It looked like Julian wasn't going to get home safe this time, but Julian didn't know that he was being watched. The fox crept up and, using all of his skill and cunning, gobbled Julian right up. The barn owl thought about having a fight, but then changed its mind. The fox waited and then opened his mouth. "Wow, we are everywhere," said the fox. "Pardon?" said a soggy Julian. The fox put Julian down. "Now we are even," he smiled. After that, the fox and Julian still like to keep to themselves, but every now and then, Julian had a friend over for dinner. The end. So, what did you think of that story? See, two animals, I guess, that shouldn't really be friends are friends, and they both help each other out. But it's nice to do a kind deed for someone that might not be nice to you, because eventually it does pay off. Anyway, that's the end of the story. So thank you for joining me for this story, and hope to see you next time. Bye for now.